Hello and welcome to my channel, Blissfully Single Bean. My name is Bean and I'm the blissfully single one enjoying this Sunday afternoon. Oh man, it's been a blessed weekend. Yesterday I finished my Christmas decorations. Today I'm preheating the oven to throw some steaks in there for my kids. I don't eat meat, but my oldest son did want steak for dinner today. So, it's just been such a great weekend. The holiday season, I just feel so blessed around this time of year because I've had some shitty ass holidays. I've had some shitty ass holidays, and the holidays from the past few years have been one where I've really grown into my own. I have my own home. I have my two beautiful boys. I'm single, but I like it that way because I came from a relationship that was toxic. So I feel so blessed in my life right now. And I know a lot of people around this time of year, they feel empty because this is the type of season that can remind you of what you don't have. So again, I say all this to say, everybody watching this video, I'm sending you love. I'm sending you season's tidings. And despite if you have a family of 100 or if it's you by yourself, you are loved. Sending good vibes. So, on another note, honey bunny. I'm trying to keep my voice low, but watching this episode of Ready to Love, I was so aggravated. I was so aggravated. Let me tell you something. I just wanted to jump through the screen and choke Alexis out. Like, I wanted to jump through the screen and show her how a Brooklyn bitch can stomp your ass out. I just wanted to jump through the screen and give her a Haitian ass whipping. Like, she is, Alexis, you are an ugly person. You are. You despite what you may think, you can be ugly. You're ugly on the inside. You're dark on the inside, so it doesn't make you attractive on the outside. It doesn't. But let's get into it, honey, because I'm jumping ahead of myself. So the episode leaves off. No, it picks up where it left off last week at the campfire, campfire. All right, campfire. Alexis is upset. She walks off. Brent goes to talk to her to calm her down or whatever. And here comes London looking like a retired ass rapper. London, Coogee sweaters and chunky ass chains, my G. My G, it's 2019, about to be 2020. Update the fashions, please. Please. Only two people can wear Coogee sweaters right now. Bill Cosby and Biggie Smalls. The only two people I can let get away with it. Do better, London. So London tries to talk to Alexis, and you could tell sis is checked out. Oh, but before he tries to talk to Alexis, Brent is upset about it. Brent was like, say, bruh, don't disrespect me. Like, you can talk to her, but don't disrespect me, bruh. But Brent does eventually do the gentleman thing and walks off to allow London and Alexis to speak. But by this time, Alexis is done. Alexis is like, you haven't shown me anything. Brent has been the one really riding for me and showing me that he wants to be with me. I'm done. And you saw that she was done. Like, mentally, she was checked out. She peaced out, and then she spent the night with Brent. Brent slept upstairs in her room, and Alexis was like, "What?" She said something along the lines of, "If he acted right, or I bet London wishes he was the one that was sleeping in my bed instead of Brent." All right, bitch, want a biscuit? So anyway, next scene is Reva and Mario. And of course, they have to torture us with this fake-ass love connection between these two. There was never a love connection. There was never even a sniff of a love connection between these two. Why are you doing this to us? Please spare us. So they're talking, and Reva has the same concerns. You say you like me, but you're not giving me any of this work. All this work goes to Tandy, and it doesn't come to me. And it's like, Reva, I do understand what you're saying because Mario needs to show and prove. Like, if you like me, show it. Reva, he doesn't like you like that. He doesn't. He likes Tandy. Him and Tandy have the chemistry. So that's why you're in this space. Thankfully, she self-eliminates. Reva, you will not be missed. Next scene is dinner with all the players. And this is when I was looking at Alexis like, bitch, really? Like, are we really on this shit? Really? So everyone comes together at this really nice spot with nephew Tommy, because nephew Tommy wants to break down the whole cabin situation and what happened. And Alexis comes in with this ridiculous mini skirt. And I'm like, girl, your stomach wasn't ready for that mini skirt. You looked a good 3 months pregnant in that mini skirt. Girl, I need you to, all of that. If you can't work out in the gym, strap on a waist trainer, because yeah, you may have thought you look sexy, but that gut said otherwise. So what made me look at her kind of strange is when she was like, "Oh, and I wore my mini skirt to make London jealous." Why are you making London jealous? Why, sis? You said that Brent was the one riding for you, so you're going to explore your connection with Brent. It just seems so juvenile to me. Like, it seemed young in mind. And as this episode goes on, you understand that there's something wrong with her. She's young in the mind. She really is. So they're sitting down together, and Tommy's asking for a recap from everyone about how the camp trip went, and he asks Alexis, and Alexis was like, "Oh, it was a shit show." And everyone was like, "Oh Lord, a shit show? Oh, really?" Because Alexis said that she came into the camping trip. Squirrel. She came into the camping trip with the impression that her and London were a thing, or each other's number ones. And I'm like, bullshit. I'm calling absolute bullshit on that, because at the trip, you were getting closer to Brent. So I don't understand how you felt like you were each other's number ones when you were still playing the game. Again, I'm not faulting Alexis for playing the game like a guy, but don't play yourself. Don't play yourself, because now I'm seeing seeds of manipulation that, like, yeah, really, London, you should be very concerned. And concerned he was, because, she's going back and forth, and she's saying, London, is showing me one thing, but he's saying something else. And she says to London, "Well, you told me I was your number one." And London was like, "I never said that. I never said that." She was like, "Really? Do you want me to, to pull out the receipts or whatever?" And London was like, "Yeah, pull them out." She said, "Oh, I'm not going to waste my time." Sis, it sounds like you don't have any. So then this is when I was like, "Oh, I don't like you, period." Is when she was like, "Oh, what did you tell me about Divine? Didn't you say you didn't like Divine because she makes it too easy?" That's some weak shit right there. That's some weak shit. Like, because you have your issues with London, because he's not steady running after you the way you want him to run after you. Now it's time to hurt another black woman and make her feel less than. Really? But let me tell you something about Miss Divine. Miss Divine was cool as a mother. Divine did not say anything. Divine smiled when she needed to smile. Divine was not trying to be part of any of this messiness, any of the bullshit. And London picked up on that. London was like, "Oh, wow, Alexis is a crazy bitch." And then he picked up on the fact that Divine was very calm, very collected. And now this is his light bulb moment, because he was like, "I can't even bother having a conversation with Alexis because she's irrational." I don't think she didn't come off irrational. She came off emotional and spiteful. And you should be very worried, London. And that he was. He realized at that moment, I was ignoring London. London said he was ignoring Divine while Alexis was playing with his emotions, and he realizes that he didn't do right by Divine, because Divine has been his rock through the process. And I can see that, especially as the episode unfolds, where he would feel like Divine would be that ride or die chick that will stand right beside you. So Tommy was like, "This is what we're doing this week. The power to eliminate is in everyone's hands." So this is the episode, this is the episode, even though they took it to next week. This is the episode where one woman and one man will no longer continue this journey, so that they can have the 3 solid couples. But at the end of that scene, like, London was like, "What did I get myself into with Alexis?" Yeah, that was the moment where he was absolutely done. So Darren and Ashima meet up at the gym. Darren says everything's going well between them two, but they have one glaring issue. I could not understand what the issue was. Was it trust? Was it the ex-girlfriend? Like, I had to have rewound the scene maybe 8 times, and I couldn't understand what their issue was. So please drop down in the comment box and let me know what was their issue. But anyway, they were working out, they were talking or whatever, and he said, like, if you have an issue, you don't have to be loud about it. She was like, I'm country, we get loud. But he's like, there's a way you can speak to we can speak to one another to resolve an issue. Is that fair? Can we do that? And she said we can do that. They kissy and made up. But I mean, that's all well and good, but what are you gonna do about them dogs? So now Devin and London date. London go on a date. London is so surprised because Divine has been consistent. She was still hitting him up even after the whole campsite or the camping trip or whatever. And then subsequently that dinner that he had with Tommy. So he goes on a date. Now London is in damage control mode. London is like, listen, Divine seems a little bit more stable than a damn Alexis. So let me do what I got to do to make things right with this lady. But London did mention when they sat down together and had dinner, before Divine even walked in for their date, Divine said in the back of her mind, she's already checking out with this whole London situation because she didn't like the fact that London just didn't, make a choice and choose. And so London knows like he has to make things right. And they're talking, and London was like, I just want to, let you know that, I apologize. I don't mean to come off as a player. But Divine was like, that's how you came off. You came off like you couldn't make a decision, like you were playing games. And he said he apologized about that because he didn't want to. She doesn't deserve that. And if London gave Divine the impression that he was playing games, that he's sorry about that, and that she is his number one. She still kind of wasn't buckling, but after they talked a little bit, she was like, "Oh, you make me want to choke you out." They ended up making up or whatever, and they had a lovely date after that. So it's like, I don't believe London. London definitely gives me player vibes. I don't believe him. And I feel like the reason why he's appreciating Divine at this moment is because he sees like Alexis is a crazy bitch. Like Alexis is like, she's petty and she's vindictive. And the fact that she would throw Divine under the bus in such a way, like both Divine and London in such a way. Oh, didn't you say, she made things too easy? It's like, oh my God, girl, Alexis doesn't like London like that. Alexis wants to win a game. Alexis has always been the pretty girl who's always won, and she wants to keep that title. Oh my God, blood pressure. Ugh. So Brent and Alexis go on a date. This was a waste of a scene. I don't care what the hell came out of Alexis's mouth about Brent now being her number one. The chemistry was not there. The way she spoke to him, Alexis was acting. Brent, you are not that girl's first. You're not that girl's second or third. You were the girl's safety net since London ran that way to Divine after seeing her crazy ass go off at dinner. Ciao. But Tandy sets up poetry, sorry, my handwriting. Tandy sets up a pottery date with Mario, and which was really nice, giving me very Ghost, Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore vibes, with the pottery making and everything. It was real cool, a real nice flex or whatever. But then he was talking about Reva during the date. I'm like, why are you talking about Reva during this date? And Tani kind of had a face like, okay, whatever. But yeah, don't talk about the other girl on the date. But anyway, they they were talking about who do you think is gonna end up, being, together. And Mario did say, I'm rooting for London and Divine. And Tani was like, well, I don't know, but I'll tell you this, none of these couples could match our level of fly. I said, all right, go ahead, miss. So then Mario pulls out a gift for her. It's a clay ring. It was so cute. It was really cute. But they seem to have a lovely date. So, oh my God, this is the main event. So Tommy, it's a split screen because on one end Tommy's meeting with the boys, and on another end Tommy's meeting with the girls. So Tommy starts off because this is the scene where they're trying to. Is it the scene where they're trying to distinguish who's gonna go home? I think it is, but we didn't get to that. Yeah, I'll get to that later. But anyway, so this is the scene where they're they're wrapping up everything to get a feel of which guy and which girl should leave. So Tommy asks Tandy and says, "What do you think about you and Mario?" She said, "Me and Mario are solid." She did say, and then Tommy followed up with, "What do you think about your compatibility?" And Tandy said, "Well, as far as compatibility, we're different in a lot of ways. She's more outgoing. She likes to be out. Mario is a homebody. She likes her cocktails." Don't we all, honey? She likes her cocktails. Mario is an occasional drinker. But she was like, "I'm looking forward to creating that balance." I'm like, yes, girl. So Tommy is addressing Alexis now. And they're like, Tommy was like, "So you've had connections with several people." I was like, it was a little bit shady because they went through every guy. Every guy Alexis has dated in the house. Jimmy, Curry, London, and now Brent. And again, I'm not mad at her for that aspect because Alexis does play the game like a man. So then Tommy talks to Divine. And this is when I was like, "Bitch, you are lucky." You are so lucky. There are cameras there and there's security there. And Divine is not another type of woman because I would have dragged your ass. This is when Alexis is just poking at Divine. And I respect Divine's composure. I respect the fact that she's a grown ass woman and you're not going to make her show her ass. Alexis tried it. So Tommy asks Divine, "What made Divine close the door on Brent?" That was incorrect. Divine did not close the door on Brent. Brent closed the door on Divine. Brent went upstairs while they were on the camping trip, went to Divine's room and said that he wants to focus on Alexis. So, this thing between us, you're out of the picture. And Divine took it very well too, and she understood. But Tommy, you were incorrect with that. But anyway, the way that she answered the way that Divine answered Tommy, she said, "The reason why I closed the door with Brent is because I wanted to solidify my connection with London." Oh my gosh. Little Miss Priss, yeah. Little Miss Priss did not like that one bit. Little Miss Alexis. And then when you saw her face, you saw she was going in for the kill. So they pan over to London in London's confessional. And London said, "Divine is my right now and my future. She stood beside me. She's firm. She's my ride or die." Nigga, it took you seeing Alexis's crazy side to gather that Divine is probably better suited for you. Man, get the hell out of here. So Tommy just asked the guys, who do the guys think have the weakest connection? Mario says, "I think Alexis and Brent have the weakest connection." And I 100% agree with that. Alexis only got with Brent when London wouldn't definitively say that Alexis is his number one. He's the fallback guy. Word to Divine, yes, he is the fallback guy. So London also says the same thing. London says, "She just had a connection with me, and suddenly she has a connection with you." London was like, "I do not trust that." I definitely agree. If you're looking at the weakest link for couples, Alexis and Brent are definitely it. Especially after seeing that last date. That date that they went on this episode, it was dry as hell. It was dry. Like, you can tell there was no chemistry there. At least on Alexis's end, caring about Brent, I didn't feel anything there. That bitch was acting. So they pan over to the women, and Tommy asked Ashima the same question. And she was like, "Oh my God." Tommy was like, "If you had to pick a guy, who doesn't belong here, who would it be?" She's like, "Oh," she's doing that country laugh at us. But then she does eventually say that it would be London. And so Tandy was like, "Yeah, I don't think London's ready to love too either." And I feel like those two are saying that because Timmy, go. Timmy, stop. So yeah, so I feel like Tandy and Ashima, the vantage point where they're coming from is that they see the player vibes that a lot of us see with London. Like, London, you're really not here to really find love. Like, it's a game to you. Like, you're an ex-football player. Like, it's a game. It's the chase. It's the thrill or whatever. It's the ego. It's all about that. But then Uses this opportunity as a time to comfort Divine, like full throttle, full force. I'm like, you, oh my God, raggedy, juvenile, sophomoric, chihuahua looking bitch. Like, are you serious? Devin, you's a better woman than me. So, here comes Alexis. Alexis is like, well, London. I'm looking at London as a shyster because London has been playing the both of us. And London, his narrative with me is that, this is our world. This is our bubble. You're my number one. And he waters down the situation with him and Divine. And this is where I'm like, Divine, the fact that you didn't punch them teeth out of Alexis's head, yeah, you's a real woman. Alexis was like, oh, London said he doesn't want Divine. Divine has children. I do not. Divine is aggressive. And then I was like, when Alexis was like, Divine is aggressive, I'm like, bullshit. Bullshit. I have not seen an aggressive bone in Divine's body all season. Like, straight bullshit. In fact, if anybody's aggressive, Alexis, you have been the aggressor. You're an aggressive dater. You've been through 11 niggas in that house, all right? As far as Divine had a mini connection, or she tried to see what was popping with Brent, but at the end, it's always been London for Divine. So don't go there as far as aggression. And aggression, you've been aggressive this whole damn episode. Like, going off like a third grader at that dinner. Now, the way that you come from Alexis, listen, I don't know if London said that about Divine, and I doubt he did, because Alexis comes across as a juvenile liar. But no, I have not seen any of this so-called aggression from Divine. In fact, I wish Divine was a little bit more aggressive and snatched your ass up. But Divine does not buckle. Divine was like, oh well. I stand, like, she was standing behind London. She was like, I don't believe that he said that. And this really aggravates Alexis, because you see at this moment Alexis is trying to hurt Divine, and Divine is not giving her that. She's not giving her that. Alexis was like, well, Divine said, well, you know what? I don't know what you said to be fact. I don't believe it. So Alexis is like, you don't fault him for trying to throw you under the bus? And Divine was like, no, because I don't believe it. Next. Oh my gosh. Alexis goes further. Like, you keep poking. Like, really? So she was like, okay, let me give you an example. This is Alexis talking to Divine. Apparently, at some point, there was a birthday dinner where Divine had the impression that she was number one. And she mentioned this during a wine bar, a few episodes back, whatever. So Alexa says after Divine said that, she was very upset, and she confronted London about it. And London said, oh, well, Divine's a liar. Divine's face did not flinch. She did not buckle. She's like, whatever. So Alexis says that London said to her, well, she's lying, and I'll prove to you that she's lying. So Alexis says London got on a three-way call with Alexis on the line. So London calls Divine, Alexis is on the line, silent. I said, what kind of junior high school ass type shit is this? So London set up Divine on a three-way call, and Alexis is in her glory. She's so thirsty. She's so pressed to hurt Divine. She's in her glory. We went on this three-way call. He was trying to set Divine up, and trying to prove that Divine is a liar. And I'm like, you are so fucking thirsty, to hurt this woman that you don't see how awful you look. Like, how immature is that? I cannot. So Divine was like, I don't believe this three-way call happened. I don't remember this call. Alexis tries to call Divine a liar. Divine is like, I'm not a liar. And the producers backed that shit up. The producers showed footage where Divine asked London, if you were to ride out into the sunset with one person, who would that person be? He was like, oh, it would be you, of course. Who else would it be? Alexis, you look dumb as hell. You look dumb as hell. Because the fact is, Divine is not a liar. The fact is, London did give Divine the impression that she is number one. Oh my God, I just wanted to drag the hell, oh my gosh, out of Alexis at that point. So again, Alexis keeps poking. Divine got to a point where she put the two fingers in Alexis's face, like, why would I trust you? Let me tell you something. When a hood bitch puts them two fingers in the air like this, you need to shut the hell up. You need to shut the hell up. But no, Alexis keeps going. And then Tommy got to a point, Tommy was like, you don't think it's childish that you got on a three-way call with London? If this in fact did happen? She's like, oh yeah, well, for that, I know it may be perceived as childish. For that, I did apologize. But again, even after that, Alexis keeps coming for Divine, talking about, I've tried to tell Divine the truth and be her protector and protect her feelings. Divine was like, you don't got to protect my feelings. I don't need you to protect my feelings. The only person who can protect my feelings is me. So go ahead with all of that nonsense. Shut her all the way down. And, Alexis says, London, says, Divine, you and London are made for each other because you're both dishonest people. And just after some back and forth, Alexis laughs and calls Divine desperate. Bitch. Divine is not the one desperate in this situation. All that back and forth between you, you seem parched. You seem pressed. You are the one that's exhibiting, desperate like behavior. Like, child, don't even do that. Divine clapped back. Divine was like, honey, let me tell you something. 3 weeks ago, you didn't even know how to pronounce Brent's name. And now you're claiming to have a connection. The fact is, London did not want your ass, and Brent is the fallback guy. So at the end, Divine was like, my connection with London is solid. Divine did not buckle once. Divine read Alexis like hooked on phonics, and Alexis was so butthurt that she did not get the reaction from Divine that she wanted. Divine said, I'm good. Me and London are solid. And let me tell you something about Divine. Even if she believed that London set her up on that three-way call, baby girl was not going to show that in front of Alexis. Baby girl was like, you know what? I don't know what to believe, but I'm going to have this conversation with London. But as far as you seeing a crack in my exterior, seeing a crack in what I've got with London, you ain't going to see it. And I was like, Divine, I applaud you. So Tommy was like, listen, if you guys are saying your connections are solid, then they are solid. And Alexis still wouldn't let up. Because after Tommy said that, everybody breathed and laughed like, "Ooh, child, this was a hard one to film or whatever." And Divine laughs, and Divine's like, "Ooh, child, now I can take off my boxing gloves." It's a joke. It's a metaphor. It was a fight. It really was a fight. And Alexis like, "Girl, are you kidding me? I would drag you in this motherfucker." Let me tell you something, bitch. First of all, you wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Number one. Number two, despite all that bullshit you were talking earlier this season about all these fights that you got into. Where'd you get into these fights? In the suburbs? Something tells me that if you went toe-to-toe with Divine would rearrange that pretty-ass face of yours, all right? Alexis, slow it all the way down. Nothing about you tells me that you whip anybody's ass. Nothing. So Divine was like, girl, you do not want this. Tommy, tell this girl she don't want this smoke. Tell this girl she don't want this smoke. And that was the end of the episode. I'm aggravated because they didn't pick anyone to leave. But at the same time, it gives me another episode to review. And I enjoy this show so very much. But thank you for watching my video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I was a little bit animated, so I'm hoping I wasn't too loud. And check out my blog, blissfullysinglebeing.com. And I also write resumes. So if you have a resume that you want me to look at, I can evaluate it for free. And I can hook you up. Thank you so much for watching. Until next week. Peace out.